Hello everyone. Barry's out this week on a trip, so I'm going to be doing a waiver wire video all by myself. Let's see how I do. First off though, I'm kind of curious how your guys' team's doing so far this year. Mine's real middle of the road, right about 500 record. I really need some of the guys that I thought would do well to start doing a little better. One of them is Anthony Rizzo, another is Mookie Betts, and Roten hit Odor, Todd Frazier. Those guys, real mediocre for me so far, but I think they'll start stepping up. I got JD Martinez back and he's been killing it. I think that my team will get better, but I need some improvement. So I was looking on the waiver wires at the trending names for ads drops. I saw a little bit of interest, but I wasn't overly excited. Let's take a look and see if they'll improve your teams. The first name I have, and this is a guy that I picked up and dropped a lot in the past years, and that's Lucas Duda. He's only 20% owned in Yahoo leagues right now, and he's that typical guy with lots of power. He's really big. I believe he's like 6'4" and 250 pounds. He can hit the ball a mile. He's just not real consistent. His strikeouts are high, typically, and batting average low. But this year he's hitting up over 270 right now, and he's really hot. He's had 6 home runs in the last 2 weeks. So, take a look at your roster. I bet you there's somebody on there that he is hitting better than, and he might get you hot another couple weeks or two before he hits a dry spell. Just stay on top of him. He can cover your big name that's cold right now and maybe get you a win or two, but he won't be a permanent fix. Name number 2 I'm seeing is Jimmy Nelson. This is a pitcher on the Brewers. Another big guy. That might be kind of a tendency on this one. This guy's like 6'6". Not that matters in stats, but it's always interesting to me how big a player is, and to see if that factors into how well they play. But Jimmy Nelson is 31% owned in Yahoo, and he's another guy that's hot right now. He just had a really good pitcher's duel against Clayton Kershaw that went to extra innings. I believe when both the starters left, the game was 1-1. His strikeouts right now just went over 9 per 9 innings. And this is a really nice turnaround for this guy, because last year he led the league in losses and led the league in walks. So I think he's a good cover for an injured player right now, or an underperforming guy. Like if you drafted a pitcher that just isn't quite doing it for you, Jimmy Nelson might cover for you for a couple of weeks or so. It's another guy like Lucas Duda. Like, he's not a lock. He's just hot right now, and he might help get you a win this week, next week, in the real short future. All right, so take a look, see if Jimmy Nelson's available if you need some pitching help. Now, name number 4 I have right now is Steven Souza, and he's 40% owned in Yahoo leagues. He is pretty hot right now as well. 5 home runs in the last 14 weeks. Or last 14 days, sorry, not 14 weeks. So you can see he's almost as hot as Lucas Duda. He's an outfielder. He's on the Rays. And, he's shown some nice pop, and I'd say this isn't overly fluky for him. He may keep this up, and he may be a nice contributor to your team if you have injured people right now. I know Ryan Braun's injured right now. Mike Trout's injured right now. So there are some people needing outfielders. So take a look at Steven Souza, see if he hits the bill for you. Now I'm going to name one more player here, and this isn't really a recommendation. I'm just mentioning him because he's had over 6,000 ads this week in Yahoo. So he's real trending, so I'm sure you guys are curious what to do with him, and that is Trevor Bauer. And the reason he's showing up is in his last start he had 14 strikeouts against the A's. And I wouldn't say that's enough on its own to really think this guy's a lock to stick on your roster every week, that you really need to rush to go get him. It's definitely a nice outing if you're lucky enough to have had him in last week. It would have been great, but I doubt it because his ERA is 6 right now, and he's been giving up a lot of runs. I was looking at his game by games, and he's one of those guys that could make you lose ERA for the week if you put him in. His strikeout rate is 11 per 9, so if you're willing to sacrifice ERA for strikeouts, you might take a risk on this guy. I'm just not really recommending it. He does have a good matchup next week, so maybe just stick him in for 1 week, but don't be overly surprised if he kind of wrecks your ERA. All right, so it's just 4 names for you this week, real short, just me, no Barry. So you can let me know if that's more boring. But anyway, I hope you guys are sticking with the dumb guys. And very soon we're going to have a football video coming soon. I know our first one we did kind of way too early, and there's not much information on there you're going to end up using by the time the season starts. But it's a good one to get the conversation started and to show you guys that we are going to be stepping into fantasy football this year. I'm doing my research, and next video will have a lot of good information. It's post-draft. The team's workouts have started. We have some good information to go off of. So look forward to that. Look forward to your conversations and when you guys tell us we're all wrong. So get the comments going and stick with the dumb guys. Later.
Dumb guys!